The question is about the citta nupassana, contemplation on the mind, noting of the mind, or wandering mind, or thinking mind, or planning mind, any mental phenomena, thoughts. So when one notes the thoughts, just now we have mentioned, to understand properly, the thinking or the noting is the mental phenomena, the mind. But the object of the thought can be both physical or mental. How? Like supposing you've been to, say, Japan, and you want to recall your experience there, then when you think about Japan, then the object of that thought is physical, because you are thinking about the places you have been around and meeting people there. All these are physical objects. So in that case, the object of noting is physical. But a person who thinks some ideas or thought, speculations or ideas or opinions or phenomena, then the object of the thought is also mental, and the noting mind is mental. Both are mental, the object and the noting mind is. In that case, if you are thinking about some person or some place or some object, then the object of noting is a physical and the noting mind is a mental. But another way of interpretation is, the mind cannot arise by itself. The mind has to base on this physical body. So the base of the mind is physical. The mind that arises is mental. Like that you can understand. Then the second part of the question is, you are asked to note the intentions, like when you are noting intentions. Like when you want to get up from sitting to walking or stand up, intention to stand, intention to get up, or intention to stand. So noting the intention is mind noting the mind, mental phenomena. Intention is a mental phenomena. It's a cetasika. It's a mind, mental fighter. So the noting mind too is a mental phenomena, mind noting the mind. Only thing is when we are noting getting up, noting the getting up, the movement of the body, getting up from sitting to walking. And that is, the object is physical. Noting mind as getting up is the mental. But when you are noting that before any movement, when you are noting the intention, that is mental phenomena. Intention arises in the mind. So mind noting the mind. If no more question, then let me draw your attention about today's talk, about concerning these sense objects. Noting of the sense object is Dhamma, Nupassana, Satipatthana, the fourth foundation, and mindfulness meditation. So noting of the, here I want to draw your attention, means it is very interesting and very inspiring if you can understand that how Buddha's the wisdom is how tremendous than beyond thinking power. Out of the six senses, he said, Dete, Deta, Madam Bhavesati, and seeing, just be seen. Sute, Sutta, Madam Bhavesati, and hearing, just be hearing. Then, for smelling, tasting, and touching, these three he combined together and he said, Mute, Muta, Madam Bhavesati. And Muta, the right translation is arriving, meaning in coming in contact. Just note as coming in contact or coming into condition. And the sixth sense for thinking, Vinyati, Vinyana, Madam Bhavesati. Really amazing Buddha's wisdom is. That's why his wisdom is regarded as omniscient. Because the acting mechanism, if we just review, oftentimes many explain in detail about how these ayatana sense objects and sense spaces, they take place on condition. For instance, when you are noting the objects as seen, for the seeing consciousness to arise, there must be object, one condition. And your eye sensitivity, not the whole eyeball is just instrumental. At the back of the eye, there's a sensitive area, and Pali we call Jakku Pasada, eye sensitivity. And this must be functioning well. So, visual object, the eye sensitivity, two conditions. And the third condition is there must be light, aloka, for seeing consciousness to arise, the third condition. And the fourth is manasikara. Paliwa manasikara means focus or attention, or advertence of the sense object towards the sense door. The object, like if you are looking the other way, you cannot see the side object. So if you want to see that, you have to advert the eye towards the sense base towards the object. So that is what we call manasikara. So only when these four conditions conduce, seeing consciousness can arise. So this is the mechanism how seeing arises. So for hearing, similarly, there must be the sound. Object of hearing is a sound. There must be a sound. Then one's hearing, ear sensitivity, sota pasada, like jakku pasada, eye sensitivity. And the ear, this is just external ear. The ear is to track the sound. Actually, it cannot hear. The sensitive area and the ear is the cause of hearing consciousness. So sota pasada, second condition. And here there must be akasa, a space. If there is a barrier like what we are talking, if a person is inside, because of the thick wall, they cannot hear from inside. Or if somebody talking inside, we cannot hear from outside, because there is a barrier. So for the sound wave to travel, there must be a space, akasa, the third condition. And the fourth is saying, manasikara, the mind must turn its advertence towards the object. And your nose sensitivity, kana pasada. This nose is just the physical structure inside. There is a sensitive area which receives this sense object. So nose pasada, kana pasada, or nose sensitivity must be functioning. Then there must be wind, water, because wind has to carry the essence of the taste, and it must come direct contact with the nose. Here, please take note of it. And seeing and hearing, the object and sense base does not come direct contact. Like when you are seeing me, my body is, I'm sitting here. Only my form and color is reflected towards your eye. So the object does not come direct contact, only the reflection. By reflection only we interpret the image we have seen. So also the sound, my vocal voice or larynx or whatever body part that produces the sound does not come direct contact with your ear. Only thing is, because of my speaking, it vibrates and sound waves travel, and when it comes into contact with the ear sensitivity as condition, we interpret the sound and we understand the language. So that's how it is. But whereas to get the taste, You need wind to carry the essence of the taste. Like supposing you are now getting the smell of a flower pollen. The wind must carry the pollen, and the pollen and the nose come direct contact to get the smell of the flower. So also smell of the food or any beautifying thing. So that is why this smelling, so also the tasting and touching together, Buddha say as mudde muda madambavaisa, because these object and sense must come into direct contact to get the sense experience, to experience the sensation. Whereas this seeing, hearing and thinking, we don't need the object and the sense base to come into direct contact. So and eating, when you are noting tasting, there must be the taste object. Then your tongue sensitivity, jiva pasada, must be functioning well. Taste, tongue sensitivity. And there must be water, apo. Water, it dissolves the essence from the food and it presented they come into direct contact with the tongue sensitivity. Then only you can get the taste. That's why our mouth has to be all the time wet with saliva to get the taste. So it shows that the taste and the sense organ, the tongue, must come direct contact to experience the taste. So here that essential is water, and the fourth is as usual manasikara, that attention. Okay. So also when we are noting the touching sensation, tactile, there must be tactile object. Then this is we call Padavaramana, tactile object. Then our body sensitivity, our kaya pasada. Kaya means body, pasada means sensitivity. Body must be sensitive. Kaya pasada. And these two must come direct contact. Then only we can experience body sensation or touching sensation. As whether like with your clothing you are putting on, you feel either smooth or rough or medium is experienced because the object and your sense base is coming into direct contact. That's why these three senses, smelling, tasting and touching, put it because they are the same phenomena, because the object and the sense base must come direct contact. Buddha used the word mudde muda madambavaisati. And out of the six senses, seeing, hearing and thinking, he mentioned individually. That's why his wisdom is amazing. A condition for thinking is same. Just now I've already explained to you. There must be the mind and the mental object. So mental object can be either physical or mental. Like if you're thinking some person or a place or some object, then it is a physical object. Object of the thought. But if you are thinking about ideas, opinions, speculation, then both mind and the object noted is the mind, mental object and the noting mind. And here, as a base, we need physical base. And in our Buddhist teaching, we call it Hadaya Watu. Hadaya Watu and Abhidhamma you'll find as heart base. Hadaya means heart base. Here too, another interesting thing I want to point you out is, it is interesting when we compare with medical science. If you have studied about something held knowledge. And medical science, mind space is usually attributed to the brain. But here I just now said, mind base is heart, cardiac, water. So here seems to be contradictory. In fact, no. In fact, Buddha's wisdom is amazing. Because there are two types of mind. Mind in Pali we call citta. If you have studied some Abhidhamma, you can understand that. Mind has got two levels. One is conscious mind and another is subconscious mind. Subconscious mind it begins with the conception, what we call patisandhi citta. The very first thought moment arises in the mother, for a human being in the mother's womb, when the sperm and ovum fertilize, and when there is we call a being to be conceived, is ready due to one's karma, and coming of these three, then a being is conceived in the mind. And from that time, until that time and the interval between death and that moment is Juti Citta. We call Pali word Juti means death. Citta means consciousness. That consciousness, rebirth consciousness, and intermediate. Intermediate is we call Bhavanga Citta. Pali word Bhavanga Citta is translated in English as life continuum, because it is the continuous stream that what we call life. For this particular life, we live according to this Bhavanga Citta. And that is at the subconscious level, like when we have fallen asleep, this Bhavanga Citta is taking place, subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind or Bhavanga Citta is based on heart, not as what in medical science they call it brain base. Is another citta, what we call viti citta, process thought. Like a person sleeping, when one go and wake up or due to very harsh or strong sound, and he was wake up from the dream. So when he is asleep, it is Bhavanga Citta, subconscious mind. And when he was stimulated to waking up, our consciousness began. And that is we call Viti Citta. There are two levels. Like in a stream, there are two currents. Upper current and lower current. Lower current is normal current flowing. Upper current is influenced by weather conditions. Wind, sun, heat. Like that. So mind has got two levels, because it is coming up and down like this. So when, like, some object is presented to the eye or the sense door, like eye, ear, nose, mouth, body and mind, then the mind will come up to receive it. And that is what we call Viti Citta, process thought. And when it finishes, like now here, ding, ding, ding. So when the sound ends, it falls back to subconscious level, and that becomes Bhavanga Citta. So Bhavanga Citta, or life stream, or contain life, as it is translated, life continuum, the continuous flow of life, depends on the heart. For the Viti Citta, it depends on the brain. And so no contradictory. The only thing is the medical science does not recognize, or they cannot acknowledge, or they cannot come aware, they are not aware of this Bhavanga Citta. That's the only difference. But Buddha is so thorough in his knowledge, he mentioned this level. And it is in accordance with the medical knowledge also. Conscious level, supposing this is a criteria level, if it goes down, it is subconscious, is farther down unconscious, a farther down coma, and a farther down death. Then no return. Up to coma only we can resuscitate back. After the coma and death, then nothing can be resuscitated. So that's how the mind is working.